go Liquid versus Newbee in what's going to be an incredibly exciting best of 5. I'm only Pixel and I am, of course, joined by Purge here for this series. Purge, we are yet to see these two teams go against each other in this tournament, and they meet in the grand finals. Undeniably, the two best teams in this tournament, the two best teams in the world right now. What's going to happen?
I don't know, man. It's definitely a bit more exciting than a OG Liquid matchup could have been, since Liquid has beaten OG twice. But Newbee and Liquid, it's definitely the two best teams. That's been pretty clear. Everybody thought Newbee was maybe the best, but now Liquid making quick work of OG, that's going to give a lot of validity towards their strength in the moment. And they've been getting consistent top 2s at every single event in the last few months.
Absolutely. Is it finally time for Liquid to break that curse and come in first place? But what a time it would be to do that indeed against Newbee, a team that has definitely shown a lot of their strengths already with this smoke gang. Newbee coming in aggressive. Oh, don't go back! Don't go back! So he turns back in, and Newbee will look to claim themselves first blood off the back of that blunder. Mind control, getting caught out by a very aggressive but very successful movement there from Newbee. I mean, you're coming that far across the map at this stage of the game, Coach.
Yeah, it's really good to do movements like that sometimes, especially in huge matches like this, because all it loses you is a smoke. It's actually semi-significant, but to get a first blood like that and get wards down, potentially block that camp that Beastmaster wants to farm. And the most important thing about that camp for Beastmaster is that he can farm there and then go back to lane easily. But now he's going to have to go all the way to his jungle. So if they push the lane in, he's going to have to TP to be there for that.
To the bottom, KP coming in, was hoping to nab the bounty rune, but telekinesis was there to interrupt that one. I mean, let's talk about some of these heroes, Purge. I mean, most notably, the different ones being this Riki on the side. Liquid going to be manned up by KuroKy, and then of course Hal bringing out the PL this time for Newbee, something that we haven't seen them do so far.
Yeah, I like what Swindle said on the panel, and I'm not just saying that because he's right. Zeus is pretty good versus PL, but PL did provide a lot of good solutions to the 3 heroes Liquid already had. But now that Zeus is there, he has an aura that's going to constantly scale no matter how much HP the PL has, and it's constantly going to clear out the illusions very rapidly, or at least help you figure out which one's real. So, and Fada's Zeus is amazing. They've played it in other patches. They've gotten a lot of advantage out of it. If he could just have a semi-decent game, get his mana pool up, maybe a Bloodstone Veil, something like that, maybe a more early game build since they're going to 5-man, then it should be a really good game for Liquid. Now, the one pick that I'm slightly unsure about is Riki. I mean, Riki can do a lot, but will he? Like, if he gets Smoke Cloud and some other gank options, yeah, the Smoke Cloud's going to be really good against, like, Phoenix, against PL, against Lion, against Void. It kind of gives a lot of what Zeus does, and those two together, a Silence plus Burst means kills on almost anybody in the early game.
And the thing is as well, we can see KuroKy at the moment pretty much sitting AFK here in the mid lane, just hoping for that Courier Snipe. The question is, I mean, are a team like Newbee going to fall for this? There's been no sign of Riki on the map. Is it going to work out?
Well, considering the fact that Newbee has 800 gold, he did not just forget how much bottle costs. He's just waiting, and he just can't safely do this.
So you're pretty sure they know? They know that KuroKy's got his eyes on them.
Yeah, and it's sort of good. I wouldn't say it's been really good considering he's got nothing out of the lane other than prevent them from using a courier, but I mean, he's also got a magic wand, so every time that Zeus casts a spell, he gets 15 mana. He can get away with not having a bottle. It's not as good for him, but I think this is overall a better trade here. I would like to see him maybe move around, harass some supports, maybe help kill one of these offlane heroes since they are dual offlane, but we haven't seen anything like that from him yet.
We're going to see KuroKy leave the mid lane now, and we'll see indeed where he does decide to head and that pressure on. Let's see, so boot sample our purchase, but still indeed just hesitating with that courier movement.
Well, they did see him take the bounty. That's actually pretty big for Newbee. So now they know that there's a chance that Riki is roaming towards the bot lane.
And straight away, the courier's being brought out.
Yep, they instantly know he's not there anymore. That's another cool interaction that they have Howl with Riki. I don't know if this works with Tricks of the Trade or not, but it's really going to amplify his early game damage by a lot if they can time the Howl correctly.
Well, he's coming down towards this bottom lane, but there's already a sentry here for Newbee, so it will be hard for KuroKy to find a lead in.
They'll know right now. Instantly he'll take damage. There's no way they kill him either. This dual lane combo, okay, maybe they will.
With a dust, they can certainly give it a go, and a bash as well coming in, and there's the good old stun rate, 6.87 indeed. There's one. Kaka getting caught up with the telekinesis. They'll find a kill in return. But he's going to try and get KP as well. No time off for 17 seconds, but the chase down won't be there. Sends up a 1-for-1, losing KuroKy, but Liquid able to take that kill back onto Kaka.
Yeah, it's the benefit of Riki being really slow, and he was only level 1, so he didn't have Blink Strike. So they got a bunch of right clicks in before they even started going on him. And the slow and the instant bash from Faceless Void guaranteed his death. If he doesn't get bashed, maybe he lives there and they waste the dust, but really nice kill there by Newbee with 2 heroes that probably shouldn't be able to kill anybody.
Looking elsewhere across the map as well, Beastmaster has headed back into the jungle, mind control. Kroki's going to head up top to look for some levels, which is indeed desperately needing here. 3.5 minutes in, only working for his level 1. But all this kind of play around is given a lot of space to house PL. He's 27 for 7 at the moment on this top lane, and he's getting a lot of XP here, of course, as well.
Yeah, and Chuan's doing really well also. He's level 3 already. He's picked up boots of speed. He's got a TP scroll. He could try setting up some kills or moving around the lane. So the hard part is that he can't really get a kill mid. This is the benefit about Radiant. I thought it's going to be very safe here in his lane, especially because there's a dual off lane. So maybe they can do a rotation here and set up a kill mid, but it's a lot more likely that Chuan's going to spend time in lane, maybe try to get kills on Riki, and just keep getting his own levels.
As well as the bottom, Jax and Kaka playing around with each other. In fact, Kaka going with the Sunray. Jax is going to walk in for the cancel with the telekinesis.
Ooh, we messed up the cliff.
Let's see if Kaka
he might
wants
die
to continue to play. He has got a dive. He's going to use it, closing in, but yeah, eyes on mind control coming across with the ball. So Kaka holds back, styles up, and disengages.
Alright, decently done. On the mid lane, 18 last hits for Zeus, and Dragonite has 27. They're actually losing the mid lane here. It's a bit surprising, just slightly, but it's not really that much because Dragonite, he can't kill him. He's got all this regen.
Oh, looking down bottom here with the sentry down. Kuroki's walked into Chuan's trap, and they'll find themselves another kill onto Kuroki. He did get himself a few levels on that top lane, but beating away kills to the likes of a lane that Hal, who already is having a fantastic time on the PL, is not too ideal for Liquid.
Yeah, he does pick up boots though, and level 3, so now his gank is much better. He will end up going back top again. The dire ward. They're going to see him TPing in, so they know that he's there. They could try to set up for another one. Move rotates over with 6 though. They should be able to take this tower most likely, and this is, I don't think, something that Liquid can defend with Dragonite rotating to here. Like, Zeus is going to walk over, but he's only level 5, and he can arc lightning this a bit and try to slow it down, but if he gets stunned or initiated on, he dies.
He's still being spotted out by the warden from Newbee, so they know exactly what's happening. In fact, they're trying to make a move over towards Spada. They'll take down the Hawk with the breathe fire. Indeed, they'll stay strong with the push in 5.5 minutes in. Newbee able to get the tower, more gold into the PL's pocket, and how he is just getting richer and richer here in the early game, and Liquid unable to do anything about this PL's progression at the moment.
Yeah, there's almost no way that they defend that, and as soon as they realized that their opponents had vision in that area, Spada backs out instantly, because he's like, okay, they have vision of us, we don't have vision over them, there's a good chance I'm just going to die here, I might as well go mid and get 6 and some more farm. What's most important for him is just making sure he has a mana pool. If he has a good mana pool, then he can delay almost every push just by spamming out arc lightning, but he's got to get there, and if he gets ganked or if he dies in these rotations, it completely changes the whole game, and it's going to put Liquid severely on the back foot.
Down it, Kaka was eyeing up to see if he could snag the bounty ring away from the side of Liquid. Jax secures it here for the side. It's playing still. Hal hanging around with Chuan. Eyes onto Kuroki just in case he comes too far out there. He'll be very willing to try and make a jump onto the man, but Kuroki is getting a bit more space. He's reaching up, but there we go. It's not enough. They move in, they close the gap, and Kuroki a little bit too close for his own good, and it is another death on this Riki. 3 of the 4 deaths at the moment. Yeah, 3 of the 4 kills, of course, for Newbee.
It's a really straightforward kill there. I mean, Riki actually isn't very defensive against ganks. The only way he survives that if he smoke screens right before he's getting disabled. So at least then they have to walk around, but as long as they get 1 disable off, he dies 100%. Very low base HP hero, doesn't have very good strength gain. He's getting levels and he's getting not even farm. He's only got 3 last hits. This is really not paying off for Liquid right now.
Yeah, and the fact that now 7 minutes in, Hal's got his boots with travels. Very good timing here for the map.
I just don't think Riki was going to work in this game against a Dragonite. I mean, why? I mean, he sat so long mid, and now he's rotating top. He's died a few times. Did die bottom, of course. That was kind of maybe where he needed to start the game, pressure the Phoenix.
Mid lane, what have we got going here? Moving in on Spada, they'll go forward, they'll take the Zeus kill, mind control, spinning around with the roar. Jax follows through with the telekinesis, trying to drag move under the tower, the armor's too much. They'll burst down the Phoenix with the Faithful, but Jax, he's going to get taken down by Hal. How can he get himself out? He's got really Chuan with him, so yes, he's going to be fine, and now with the stop from Chuan, they'll turn on the mind control, the Hex to follow through. They should be able to find the Beastmaster as well, and they do. They find themselves a third there in the mid lane. 3-for-1 trade for Newbee. Okay, Zeus ult now, the buyback ult to finish off Howard. That certainly was worth it there for Fada. A big kind of a pay-in to get out with something, but still nonetheless, it is Newbee, of course, coming out on top with that trade.
He does lose gold in the buyback, but the important thing is the levels. The more levels that Zeus gets, the better. He needs to hit 16 relatively fast, at minimum somewhere around the 11 to 16 mark. That way most of his skills are maxed out. So a pretty big kill for him, but overall a really weak fight for Liquid. And I feel like I'm still not seeing the value out of Riki that we need to. I feel like he didn't go on the right target there. He put the smoke cloud down on the Dragon. I think instead he should have gone for the Phoenix in the backline. He wasn't that, he's like at half HP. He doesn't have sticks yet. He was near creep, so Liquid definitely could see him. If you would blink strike onto Phoenix, hit Phoenix, drop the smoke cloud, instantly the Sunray ends. That's going to mitigate way more damage than smoke cloud in a Dragon Knight.
Absolutely, yeah, as you said, just Kuroki needs to have eyes on that backline all the time in the fights, and Chuan coming around, dropping down a sentry.
He may put another one down, but this is a little bad for them because they need the scent against Riki.
Now, just closing across.
Oh, Crow's here, they see him.
Yeah, both pinging out each other. They did spot out, I believe, that central ward placement with the Observer ward, as the pings did come out when he did it.
Another big item for Pada is the Arcane Boots, so he's got a haste on top of this. Means he can, actually, he's one of the most dangerous heroes on the map right now, in the game really. With this much damage and this much mobility, Newbee's got to be careful. They do have great lockdowns though. They've got Chronosphere ready. Faceless Void can TP at any time, so if they get a little too deep on the dives, Liquid's going to get punished really hard, so they have to initiate this perfectly and burst down their target instantly.
As you said, they did have a few eyes onto the top lane. Mind Control, he's got the roar back up.
He needs one coin, he's got it.
There we go, shot through the trees, and then we go on to How with the smoke screen as well. They got the damage to finish this man off with the ball slow. The Thunder Gods route, they'll find it. A big kill for Liquid, but Newbee, they're looking to punish it. Straight onto Mind Control with the Dragon Tail, and he goes for the smart TP. Nothing to cancel it, nothing to hold him back. And Liquid getting away with a clean pick-off onto the Phantom Lancer, the biggest pick-off they could find at this point.
Oh, I love what Liquid's doing here. It looks like they're changing their mind, but the smoke to go top right after they were just top might be a little unpredictable. Instead, they're trying to aim for mid. Juan's going to read into that one since the Zeus just missed. He's got his haste up ready. He's going to be looking for one of the backline heroes.
I mean, look, into the jungle comes Moo. He's trying to make his way back towards the mid lane, but
that's a hard hero. You can't kill Dragon Knight.
And Chuan scribbles there onto the jungle, just saying, watch out, guys. Liquid are around in the area. Now revealing again in the mid lane. Moo and Kaka on the high ground. Just so they can do anything. Timberman, Jerax, and Potter are around with the push.
Oh no. Oh, it's just Fire Spirit. Never mind. This is, normally you don't get Fire Spirits here, clearly. But when Sunray is the most OP ability in the game, and you can give it to, I don't think I've ever seen a Rubick actually cast that spell before, but easily, it's a good spell. It kind of gives Liquid everything that they would have done with the Phoenix pick at this point in the game. And instead he gets Fire Spirit. It's not a terrible spell to have actually against PL, Void, and Dragon Knight, but definitely better ones.
Onto the jungle, Chuan comes. Kuroki, eyes on him at the moment. They've also got Mind Control coming through again.
Now they're a little scared here. I'm surprised they've got PL as well as Void here on the bot tier 1. Line 6 though, he could easily kill the Riki. They would have had to commit Aurora to that. Although I think that would have been worth it. I'm not quite sure why they didn't go for that. Level 7 now on Riki, so he's going to be able to do a lot more damage with his backstab hits.
Kuroki, I mean, obviously we saw him with a tough start, dying for 3 times, but there's no doubt about it, he is still finding that XP, as you said. And, I mean, with that, he can start to be a bit more active. And in these team fights, you feel that every time it's always going to be about getting the smoke screen on that Phoenix, really.
Smoke screen on anybody. That one fight was especially important for the Phoenix. Important now as well, because Phoenix has his ultimate. A lot of Newbee's heroes are extremely countered by silence. Lion, Faceless Void, Phoenix, but mainly Faceless Void and Phoenix. Either of those two heroes, the fight completely changes if they die without casting their spells, especially if they're an inch away from doing it.
Necrobo now picked up for Mind Control. He's still making the progression nicely on the Beastmaster. Newbee themselves hanging around behind their tier 1 in the mid lane. I mean, 12 minutes in. You're looking at the network, you've got Matuma Man on the top with his Lycan. We've seen a lot of games where, you know, Lycan on Matuma Man, this has got to be one of his strongest heroes, no doubt about it. Yeah. He can win games in 20 minutes. You know, we may see this game, if it goes the way, the kind of pace that Liquid want to, you know, in 12 minutes time, them absolutely dominate. You know, I feel with the drafts as well, that's something that they are going to look to do. They surely don't want to go late against Newbee's lineup this game.
Probably not, but the other important thing is just not to lose their towers. And I think the reason that Newbee's been grouped here so much is because they're anticipating Liquid initiating in that moment. And I feel like Liquid's actually playing differently this game than they normally do, and they're doing this on purpose so that Newbee can't predict them as easily. They're expecting Liquid to fight behind this tier 1 tower, it never happened. And now they're smoking down to a lane where the tower's already gone. This is also very unpredictable and weird to see.
No, but the great thing was Mind Control had his Hawk right over where they smoked.
Yeah.
So again, the vision game for Beastmaster is much too strong. And I feel, Newbee are going to realize that they've been rumbled.
And they may have to do this dive mid, but it's so difficult at nighttime against a Beastmaster. They're going to see you coming before you do. And if you don't initiate that properly, the fight's going to go real bad. So, first major item now for Zeus, disassembles his Arcane Boots, makes an Aether Lens to increase the range of all of his spells, and his damage by a bit. But that's super important because now he can sit farther back, or as he's casting spells, there's a lower chance that he gets caught in Chronosphere, or spells from Lycan, or even Supernova. And now they're doing their smoke rotation again. Again, it's going to be Jax and Fada smoking together.
How they've just got to get that lead in Raw. Let's see if they get it. They will indeed. No chance for How to respond. Kuroki moves in with the smoke screen. Thunder God's Raptor to ensure that they get the kill. But Superman picks up the final touch. But again,
might catch one.
If they continue to do this on the PL, that's going to be exactly what they're looking for. And look at
it's going to take two.
Chuan's going to walk it off.
Juan saves him, no problem. If he had ult there, that was Chuan dying 100%. So. A little unfortunate for me to use it. Looking for the D ward. Actually, they're going to spot this observer ward that Liquid just placed, so that's got to be a little scary for Jax.
He's going to go for the play here. Oh! Jax starting on the top lane. KT using the Chronos with the bashes onto the Superman as well. Can he get himself out of this one? He can't. They'll take down the Lycan. Lukaka moving in. Fox the Dust looking for more. Can he close in onto Kuroki? Kuroki getting himself out to the left. Trying to juke it. He's got a salve as well, and looks like he will be able to get himself out of there.
He's actually the slowest hero ever. When you dust him, his movement speed gets reduced, and he has no way to basically break his invis. So, on the bright side, he knows that there's probably not a sentry in the area, a lower chance at least, because they did use a dust. So for now, he's going to go grab vision of enemy heroes, and that'll influence Liquid's next moves.
And just getting that valuable intel indeed, Kuroki.
So with them all grouping mid, it seems pretty clear that they're going to go there. The other lanes aren't super push up, but...
Oh, look at this, no message as well. Straight up with the Supernova move. He's going to close in, gets the Dragon's Tail off. Classic, clean-cut Newbee execution there in the mid lane.
Yeah, the Icarus Dive is actually an ability that I really undervalued, but watching this tournament now, consistently Phoenixes are using it just to initiate. The slow is actually significant, 25% for 4 seconds, and it led up into the Dragon Knight stun, and that kills the hero guaranteed.
Now we're going to see Newbee come in with a push. I mean, without the Elder Dragon form, of course not quite as strong as the push that Liquid have with that Beastmaster Lycan. Nonetheless, they'll give this tier 1 a good shot. Let's see if Liquid come in time to defend. KP,
they gotta wait for Zeus.
Back up.
Zeus is really important here. They don't have damage without Zeus. Lycan even is kind of limited on damage, and he does all physical. That's not going to be very good against Dragon Knight. It kind of works against Void, but only if he's locked down, so they gotta have Zeus up. They continue to defend their tier 1 though. It's super important that they do this because it's close to so many places on the map, and it semi-neutralizes the Roche advantage that Newbee's got here.
Yeah, both tier 1s for either side, playing very, very low at the moment. We'll see Liquid come in to try and finish off that of Newbee. And Newbee themselves, all being spotted out by, again, this Hawk placement from Mind Control up towards the Secret Shop.
Yeah, straightforward push there. They knew that Chronosphere was still on cooldown, as was Supernova now. So with that happening, pretty straightforward there for Liquid to take the tower. They're a little careful about it, but it really didn't cost them much, and that's one of the downsides to these big cooldowns on teamfight ultimates compared to what Liquid has. Their longest cooldown is like, what, Savage Roar or Primal Roar? Maybe Zeus ult? Zeus ult in 90 seconds, that's their long cooldown. Whereas Newbee's playing around these big, like, 130 plus cooldowns. So if those aren't up, Liquid's consistently going to push towers. It's not a very straightforward game for Newbee, despite their 5-man push looking pretty good.
Let's see Newbee try for another smoke. Talking about those ults, they've got them online now. May want to try and use them here to make a gank occur. Kuroki.
Oh, broke. Will they dust?
He's going to spell on Chuan.
They had to dust that right away. He used it now, he wasn't paying attention. That happens sometimes. You're looking around the map, you're looking at your allies, you don't realize your smoke goes away. If he pops that right away, Riki probably was still alright.
But he was right on the edge, wasn't he?
Yeah, that completely changed it. That guarantees the survive. So smoke is stopped, and they might be able to get Dragon Knight here.
Move's been left alone here, and Liquid responding to this one.
Crow can't reveal this. He's got to wait for the dragon or the roar.
He's trying to go for the invis body block. Kuroki, there we go. Sets it up for the roar, and they come off the move. He's out of mana, out of luck. No H-Stream's going to save him at the moment. Yeah. And a very nice reaction from Liquid. I mean, Newbee, off the back of that play, you know, a failed smoke and then leaving Moot to farm very deep on his own on that bottom lane.
Yeah, that was a bit weird for sure, especially because they knew that they had just revealed on a Riki. Like, surely Riki, he'll maybe see you dust, stay in the area, track your movement, but he probably felt fine to get haste. Bro's gonna find the Phoenix too.
Up here on the
What a
high
hex.
ground here. Hex straight away, locking down Kuroki. They'll move in. They'll take him down. No, he gets the chance for the trick to the drain, and maybe Liquid can back him up. KP with the Chronosphere on the two backliners. Fada and Mind Control held back the finger from Tron. Takes down Kuroki. And moving for a second, they found Fada House still alive in the midst of this all. The Phoenix is on race, forcing Mind Control back. Matuma Man, he's got to get himself out now with the ult off, but the Necro units chasing down KP. The Wolves as well. Can they quite finish off this void? The attack slow though from the Spirits, but Phoenix will hold it back. At the moment, 3 down on Liquid. Now, still moving in. He just wants to fend these units off, and as we can see there, Newbee very, very happy with that fight. And again, just these Chronospheres from KP being incredibly disruptive, just catching out, 2 heroes on the back, and suddenly Liquid, they're fighting with a huge deficit.
Yeah, with that said though, same story. Long cooldown ultimates, they're gone. They use Supernova, they use Chronosphere, everything's down with the exception of the Dragonite ult. So guaranteed Liquid respawns, and now they go push the tower. I don't know if it's going to be bottom, but if you look where Mind Control's Vor is, that's already what he's prepping for. He's pushing bottom. So I think they're going to most likely group here. Minimum, they get vision down aggressively in the enemy jungle, because they know that if they're mostly 5, they can easily take a fight against Newbee right now. There's no way that Newbee can win a fight right now. Unless it's like real bad. Walk into a Ravage or something like that.
We'll see. The game plan is for Liquid. You can see at the moment, Newbee, they've just picked up the Diffusal Blade on the PL. I mean, we already saw in that last fight how much Howard's just doing with the Spirit Lance spam. Now the fact that he's got the Diffusal Blade online, it's going to be very, very scary for some of the heroes on Liquid. Especially with Matuma Man when he's not got that ult up. We saw in that fight, he was able to really have a go at How whilst in the ultimate form, had to instantly get himself out of there as soon as it runs out.
Well, they were grouping up for bot push, but with Newbee doing like a, I don't know, like a fake mid, they put 4 heroes mid, looked like they were going to push there, and now Liquid hasn't fully committed to this push bottom. And the ults are back up again, Chronosphere is ready. It's going to be Diffusal Blades all over the place on Newbee as well. They've got one ready on PL, and now they've almost got one on Faceless Void as well. So, there's not a huge amount of things they can remove with this, but it will be able to drain mana. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I'm missing. It seems a little bizarre to buy so many diffusals. It totally makes sense on PL, obviously. The Void, it's semi-standard Void too.
Yeah, the diffuser into Manta build from Void.
Yeah.
We have seen a fair few.
It's really good against Zeus, I guess, because Zeus is very mobility limited. If you just keep hitting him with Diffusal Blade charges, he's just going to die if his team can't back him up. So it might allow them to like severely punish Zeus. Not only with Chronosphere, but now with essentially a permanent slow in a team fight.
I mean, that's the thing as well. You look at Liquid's lineup, and if you take the Zeus out of the fight, you are just eliminating a huge amount of the damage output of Liquid at this point of the game.
Yeah. And that may be what they're aiming for here. They actually do use Dragonite ulti to take a stack, a little unexpected, but it's still good to do. Most players and teams just don't even bother with this, but I think Newbee's bothering to do it just because they already feel like they have a bit of an advantage over their opponents. Can accelerate to BKB, which they now have on Dragonite, and now Dragonite's almost impossible to kill. You get this BKB off, it's so tough. Like, even Riki Smoke Cloud doesn't do anything now.
Yeah, and it couldn't have been a more perfect timing to get that BKB in kind of synergy with Fada picking up the Veil of Discord. Suddenly that one big pickup that the Zeus has been working towards is going to be a bit more null and void against that DK in the fight. Matuma Man still finding space on the top lane. I imagine after his Necro 3, he needs a BKB against Newbee's lineup?
It's not the best. I mean, it stops Sunray, it'll stop stun from Dragonite. Lion disables. I guess he kind of does need it, but he can still get chronoed, for example. He still has to worry about Supernova a little bit. I think it's ultimately going to be a good choice, though. Especially if he gets some good attack speed items, he can pick off Egg pretty easy. There's a couple of heroes he has trouble with. Phoenix can Egg, Lion has lots of disables, and now Chronosphere, so it's going to be a tough game for Matuma Man for the next couple of fights.
Bottom lane, you can see a push coming out from Liquid, and it will be reacted to from the side of Newbee as they close themselves in.
What is this? Is this a Newbee scan? Oh, they're checking to see if they're farming at the large camp, I think. Because they were previously at the bot tower, which means they're either TPing out, hiding in the right side trees, or farming there. So they used a scan for it. They weren't there. Maybe anticipating like do I need to chrono this if he's TPing in this area?
I could also check, of course, just in case Kuroki's standing around watching.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Yeah, the PL, it does affect invisible heroes. They're putting a high chrono ward, they're going to attempt Roche here. Can Liquid stop it is the question. It's going to be really hard. Because Zeus can poke it out a little bit, but they can punish with mobility.
This invis room from Mu, though, could be the starter off. In fact, it's Matuma-Man getting ready with the ult, running straight in. Smoke screen, onto Character now, pulls him off to the side. Now Mu gets his gun off, onto Jarek on the back line. Jarek starting to pull, but he gets out the Zeus ult. They'll take down 2 here. This is going to be a great fight here for the side of Liquid. Matuma-Man hexed up, but look at him go. That movement speed takes down Sean here with the wall. Turns around now. Look at the damage out with a fodder in his fight. Mu, the last one left standing, but he's going to go down as well. It's a triple kill for the Zeus. And this is what we're talking about. You go kill that Zeus, and he absolutely destroys you in these fights at the moment, 23 minutes in.
How in the hell did nobody on Newbee get their ult off there? We didn't see a Chronosphere, we didn't see an Egg. I know that Phoenix got roared. How did Faceless Void die? I don't even know, man. He just blew up. Is it magic nuke to like Rubick lift?
That Zeus, man, it's very, very scary.
I mean, if neither of those spells happen, I think it's clear that we're going to see a 5-0 in those team fights. They've got to get their spells off. There's got to be a Chronosphere, there's got to be a Supernova. One of them not happening is going to happen, just because Liquid is almost always going to have the vision advantage with Riki and the Beastmaster Hawk. But you've got to get one of them on.
Such a nice fight. No, Dargon!
Oh my god, are you serious?
Oh, dives in,
Oh, he had a Hawk, okay. There was a Hawk back there between the tier 2 and the tier 1, so you saw that come. It wasn't
so
like...
already casted the telekinesis.
I mean, that's fast reactions, that's not like godly reactions.
He'd set it up.
It's like, huh, I wonder if Phoenix is going to dive and try to deny this tower.
I mean, mind control's thoughts really this game have been absolutely brilliant. We've seen them catch out a fair few smokes, constantly scouting out the positioning of Newbee as they come in to look for these engagements. And this is the problem, you know, we said this 12 minutes, or like 12 minutes later, 25 minutes in.
Oh, they're going on.
They're going to be going for pushes, they're going to be going for these fights, and they're going to be absolutely destroying these heroes.
And Newbee is not set up here because they killed Phoenix. Now they take another tier 2, and KP making a mistake means now they can pressure the racks.
This is the classic time of game where the Liquid find their element, and they know how to use it absolutely perfectly. And with a Beastmaster like a drop like this, it's going to work for the most part of it. Can they slow them down, Newbee?
Oh, he's dying.
How? He's gone! You've lost your PL. He was going to have to buy back straight away. Liquid, they find the tier 3. They'll get themselves out, keeping Matuma-Man alive, but this is, you know, suddenly this game has taken a sharp turn for the worse for Newbee.
This series of events went from like Newbee winning the game 5-0. It's like, okay, that's good for Liquid. Then they get a tier 2 for free because of mistake, and they get a Rax tower because of mistake, and they get a PL kill and buyback. Like, the game completely changed. This is not like the perfect play that Newbee normally does. They're playing a little frantic here. I don't think they expected to lose a 5-0 team fight there.
And look at these iron pickups as well. You've now got an AC done on Matuma-Man for the next push, and there's a blink dagger on Jarek's Rubick.
Okay, great item from Matuma-Man here. The BKB would have been really nice, but with Aegis, absolutely doesn't need it. And this way, his attack speed goes up, and his whole team's does as well. Plus Beastmaster, that egg is actually just going to die. Unless they Chronosphere on top of it. That's like the only way that works.
I feel at this point it really is down to KP's Chronos. Obviously you've got a nice amount of lockdown around it. You know, if you catch up 3 heroes to the Chrono, you've still got Chuan who can focus down 1, the Dragon Tail from Mu to focus down another hero, but they need to get the lead in themselves. We've seen in these fights, Liquid just able to get the jump first, mind controls roars, each and every fight have been absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And look at this again, they're already setting up to try and find something in the middle, but understandably Newbee, they're going to be playing a lot safer now at this point of the game.
Yeah, they absolutely have to. This is going to look a lot like when OG played Newbee, where Newbee got knocked down to the lower bracket. They're going to send their base a lot. They may move a little, but mostly just going to be looking for really good team fights. They can easily still win this game. They've got the team fight heroes. They have the better team fight heroes. They can't get initiated on. They can't lose heroes 1 by 1 right at the start of the fight. So Liquid will do the predictable thing, push up with the one hero that can't die. Well, can't die.
Oh, getting in to try and kill him though, jumping in onto the Matuma-Man, and here's the man with the Aegis, gets fingered down, they'll be able to pop it. Mind control jumping forward, looking for the raw opportunity, gets it off to KP. The Supernova in the back line, Matuma-Man's back and they've lost the boy. Matuma-Man, can they kill him? The Supernova's done coming through, how? Move closing in, but he gets the chance to run away. In from the sideline, Jarek's looking to control, trying the wall, chases him down, it's a double kill. They're going to get Hal as well, a triple kill from Matuma-Man as he sends the units in. No move in, Jarek with the body block, they're looking for move as well, they're going to get it. 4 down on Newbee at 27 minutes in. Liquid destroying them in every single fight.
It was so hard for Void to get his ult off there. I mean, they initiated on the Lycan, and they killed him, and then you're waiting for a respawn, and all Matuma-Man or Mind Control had to do was walk at him.
Oh man, at this point, 1 minute down on the PL, I think this could be
our game. Oh my god.
GG, it's poured, it's the classic Liquid. They play this kind of playstyle so perfectly. 27 minutes in, this kind of lineup that's so suited to these early fights, crushing your opponents, and I mean, by God, in those last 5 minutes, they absolutely crushed you.
That was a game that Newbee was pretty significantly winning. Game was not over, and then all of a sudden 6 minutes later they GG out because they got 2 racks. Like, those fights got so hard actually towards the end.